What's good, my people? What's good? What's good? You're most welcome to the officially Balanced podcast. I'm your host, Babs, and oh my, I have been pushing this episode for a while. And honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I kept on thinking, like, what should I talk about? What should I talk about? Then, when I checked on the page, the YouTube page, I read I had gained a couple of subscribers. I think they're like two because I had like 58 subscribers and now I have 60. Can we please have a moment and clap? I'm going to add like a clapping sound effect. Please, let's clap. Thank you. Yes, so I got two. I don't know if there are more than two, but the last I remember there were 58 and now there's 60. So whoever has just recently subscribed, thank you so much. And of course, all the other subscribers, thank you for listening. Thank you for everything. Because let's put in more work into like engagement. Let's like the videos. Let's not just listen. Let's like the videos. Let's comment. I would really appreciate it if you give me some engagement. But nonetheless, I'm super grateful for just having you in the number, as one of my subscribers. So with that being said, because I know there are some people who listen to my episodes without subscribing. Also those ones, thank you so much for even giving me the time in your day to listen to an episode. I am so grateful for that. So this episode is basically going to be like a Q&A. I got some questions that can help you get to know who you're listening to, because you can't keep coming like every week to listen to an episode and you don't know the person. And I know some of you do not want to go back to the first episode. So yeah, Q&A coming up. So there are going to be 10 questions. The first 5 questions are just going to give you an insight of who I am as a person. They're not like the generic questions of what is my name, where do I live, or that, no. But they're a bit deep. Yeah, they'll help you know, like, okay, this is the girl that I'm listening to. She's really cool. And then the other 5 are basically just questions that can ignite a few arguments or leave you with something to think about, something to ponder on. So let's get right into it. Yes. So question number 1 is, what's something life taught you much earlier than it should have? I have many things, but there are a couple of things that stick out for me. One of them being taking in moments. I learned at a very young age that you should take in whatever moment. I think maybe it's because of my past of like losing people close to me. But yes, whatever moment, I try my best to grasp the present and hold it for as long as I can. For my case, when I think about moments, like, I'll give an example, a scenario of a time when my dad would be sitting at the dining table, and then I'd come in the sitting room and just sit and like know that he's right there. He's sitting at the dining table doing his stuff, like maybe writing a couple of things, doing his accounting stuff, and just knowing that he's there. And then on the TV there's Nickelodeon playing, Henry Danger playing, and it's just like there's this warmth, this coziness that's radiating from that, like the environment, the atmosphere, and it just feels nice. Like everyone is just there chilling. And back then, that moment felt like just an ordinary moment, but now when I think about it, I would give everything to feel that, like that exact moment, just to experience that exact moment. If you brought gold and that exact moment and told me to choose one, I would choose the moment, because it's everything to me. Another moment that really I wish I had taken in is when I was younger. Let's say we were coming from a family gathering, and Alex, remember Alex on Capital FM, may his soul rest in eternal peace, he would be booming some music for us while he's talking on the radio, Capital FM. And then I'm in the back seat with my sister. I'm dozing, and we're on our way back home. Mommy is in the front seat, dad is driving, and it's just a warm feeling. I don't even know how to explain it, how to put it into words, but For that moment, it's just amazing. It makes my heart melt. And so, yes, life taught me to take in the moment. And unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way. But yes, these days I try to take in every moment, even moments as ordinary as being at work and you're talking with your colleagues and you're laughing about something. I just step back a bit and I'm just in awe, like just really grateful for that calm moment that is happening. Yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So yes, life taught me to take in moments, to be in the present. Question number 2 is, what version of yourself do you miss sometimes? I really don't want to make this episode sad, but it looks like the questions are just taking me back. What version of myself do I miss sometimes? I miss the girl that I was before grief, before loss. I miss the girl that I was before I lost my mother. I was a completely different person. Sometimes I want to look for my friends that I had back in primary school and ask them, like, what version of me did you know? I want to know that girl again. I want to know who she is because I miss her so much. I was a very different person back then. Very free, very open. I was so carefree. And I know someone would probably be like, Barbs, aren't you like carefree even now? I am, but the girl back then was so different, just so different. And right now, when I lost people, I entered a very hard shell that I'm still trying to crack open. So yeah, I miss that girl sometimes. I miss her. I wish I could get her back, but I don't think I can. I can only embrace the person that I am right now. So yeah. Question number 3 is, what's something you've outgrown that you never thought you would? Something I've outgrown that I never thought I would. I think male attention, and maybe attention in general. When I was younger, I used to like seek validation, especially if I had a crush on someone or if I was completely in love with somebody. Everything they used to say meant, it was like the gospel truth for me, because it meant that I was probably beautiful. Remember, I had self-image issues when I was younger, so if I had to me, male attention was equivalent to being beautiful, to being liked, to so when a guy gave me attention, especially a guy that I liked or was infatuated with, that meant everything to me. And so I've been able to outgrow that component of my life. It honestly doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I don't know if it comes with age, I don't know if it comes with life experiences, but I don't care anymore. I was recently telling a friend that I've mastered the art of not caring. I don't know where it came from, but I'm really glad that I've reached that level in life where I really do not care. I do not care about people's opinions. I don't care, no, it doesn't touch me. It doesn't bother me. And I'm glad. I'm really, really glad. Not to say that I don't care about the opinions of the people that I love. Like, I do care about the opinions of my friends, but not to the extent where they affect my decisions, they influence me in a bad way or anything. Like, I respect people's opinions because everyone's entitled to them, but they are not going to affect me. Not anymore. That stopped. I don't know how, but it stopped. Question number 4. What's one thing people give you credit for without realizing how hard you fought to become that person? I've not understood. What's one thing people give you credit for without realizing how hard you fought to become that person? People give me credit for being resilient, for being strong, for being so many things in line with strength. Of course, connected to my past, to the things that I've been through previously, but they don't know the horrors I've been through in that process of being strong and whatnot. Like, on the outside, it may look like it just happened. But trust me, I would say the past couple of 10 years, 11 years have been crazy. No, actually, 16 years, because I lost my mom in 2010. And so to reach the point where I can even talk about my loved ones that I've lost without breaking down is out of this world. And honestly, it's only by the grace of God. He's the only being that I can glorify when it comes to this. He's the one who has given me strength. He's the one who has taken me through, of course, through different ways. That is through my friends, through my family, through different ways, of course, but it has been God all through. It has been God, because there were nights that I would cry myself to sleep. There are times that, have you ever cried and you felt like you were about to die? Have you cried and you feel so much pain in your heart and it feels so physical, it feels like you're about to have a heart attack? Have you... Honestly, I don't even know what to say. But yeah, when it comes to resilience, the background work has been crazy, and I would not connect it to my efforts at all. It's fully on God. It's fully God. Question number 5. What kind of person are you when nobody's around? Jay! What kind of person am I when nobody's around? Wow. And I'm going to be as open as possible, as vulnerable as possible. I'm going to give it a real deal. I'm not going to make things up, because that's not what this podcast is about. So what am I when nobody's around? What kind of person am I? Honestly, I'm a mixture of a lot of things. Some days I'm emotional and deep in my feelings and my thoughts. Other days I'm playful and genuinely making myself laugh for no reason. I'm always laughing. If there's one thing that I've really mastered, is being alone. I just worry that I might get addicted to being alone. I might get addicted to the whole solitude thing, because sometimes when I'm out and about, I am already thinking about my space. When am I going to go back home and just be in my space, But yeah, and then I could say that I'm anxious. I'm an anxious person, restless, quiet. I don't really play that much music, maybe because I don't have a Bluetooth speaker yet. But when I get one, maybe that will change. Honestly, it really depends on the day. I also have a really strange relationship with time, because for me hours can pass and I generally won't notice anything. I'm also someone who's trying to grow in faith and obedience, and honestly, I don't always get it right, because I rarely read my Bible. Oh my gosh, obedience is another journey of its own. But I try. It's something that I'm actively trying to work on. Let's see what else. When I'm alone, especially at night, my mind is always moving. I think a lot about the past, the future, the present, sometimes all of it at once. It's crazy. But I would say, honestly, I'm just a very ordinary person. When I'm alone, when nobody's around, when I'm alone, I'm just a very ordinary human being trying to just, I guess, figure life out in real time. Yep, that's what I could say. I hope that I've given you an insight of who I am as a person, the person that you're listening to. If you don't know my name is Barbara, but I like to call myself Bubs. I used to call myself Barbie, but I don't know, it just changed. I call myself Bubs now. And I don't know, my friends call me Bubs, Barbarita, B, Babu. Honestly, you can call me whatever, as long as it's within the variations of my name, and as long as you spell it correctly. People that know me know that I'm very strict when it comes to the spelling of my name. What else? I started officially wireless because I just wanted to talk. I wanted to lay out all my thoughts on the table and just arrange them, because at the time I think I was going through something, okay, I've always wanted to start a podcast, but I didn't have the confidence to do so. So one day I just finally woke up and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start a podcast. And it happened. I recorded my first episode. But mainly it was because I was going through, at that moment, I don't know what gave me the confidence, but I think it was because I was going through something. And my thoughts were all over the place, and I just wanted to lay them on the table. And I also wanted to, I realized that I had an issue with talking. I had an issue with speech. And I wanted to work on my speech, and I figured that just having a podcast would help me articulate my words properly. So I think I have improved. I have improved. But also, I had this feeling, this urge to just connect with people beyond me. And what better way to do that than to just share your opinions and stuff, And you get to realize that there's so many people who are like you, so many people that share the same views. So it was a mixture of so many things. And honestly, I'm so glad I'm so happy that I did that. What is the podcast about? It's about life in general, mainly based on my experiences. I only talk about things that I've experienced. You'll never hear me talking about marriage. You'll never hear me talking about stuff that I've not experienced. Whatever I've talked about here, I've experienced it. Apart from maybe the episode where I got something from Aita on Reddit, on the subreddit, and yeah. But other than that, I think most of the things I have experienced them. Because really, if I talk about something that I've experienced, then I'm probably lying to you. But if I've experienced something, then I'm able to give you my raw opinion about it. But yeah, I talked about boundaries, friendships, relationships, self-image, identity, grief. All of that you'll find in the episodes. So if you haven't listened to the previous episodes, please help yourself. Do the needful. Go back and listen to the previous episodes. And honestly, when people listen to my episodes and they come back to me and give me feedback and they're like, Barbara, this is amazing. Like, I relate to this, I relate to that. And it makes me so happy, because that's exactly what my goal was. To talk about something that people could relate with. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I got the chance to meet someone. He lives in Sweden but had come to Uganda for some time, and then he told me that when he listens to my podcast, it feels like he's talking to a friend. Like, let's say you're seated in the sitting room and you're just having a conversation, and that made me so happy. That's my main goal. That's my utmost goal, to just be that somebody can listen to and talk to and feel like they're in a conversation, to feel home. Like, I want my podcast to radiate warmth, coziness, that feeling, that homeish vibe, and to hear that people get that kind of vibe from me it warms my heart. It really warms my heart. And I've had people come up to me and tell me, you're sitting on a gold mine. You could talk about this, you could talk about that. But then I'm like, thank you so much, but I don't sound like a news anchor. I don't want to sound like a talk show. That's not the goal. That's not the essence. That's not the essence of this podcast. I don't want any of that. I just want to be that girl that people are comfortable with, are vulnerable with, and are able to feel like they're seen, they're understood, and they talk to. I want to be that kind. That's the kind of podcast I want to have. And honestly, big ups to the podcasts that are giving us that other sort of entertainment. And that's their niche, but this is my niche. So I always appreciate when somebody comes to me and tells me an idea for that podcast. But yeah, that's just what Unofficially Bella is going to be about. So I don't want this episode to be very long, so I'm going to have a part 2. So the next episode, I'll be answering the other 5 questions that I'd set aside for you guys. Sorry if you expected them to be in this episode, but yeah. When an episode is too long, people get tired and whatnot. I don't want to fill you with so much information. So if you've made it this far, I'm very grateful. God bless you. See you next time. Toodaloo.